And I guess we are live. So, yeah, Sabil, you can start from here on.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to Workshop in Power BI. Today we will be discussing about various topics in Power BI, and today's event is targeted for beginner level. And before proceeding, I like to introduce myself. So I am Sabil Shrestha. I am currently a final year student from Kathmandu University studying computer engineering. I am interested in data analysis and machine learning. I've worked in many IoT projects in my college, and I also have represented Nepal in Microsoft Imagine Cup 2021, about which I will be talking shortly. And I'm a member of IoT community in Kathmandu University Computer Club, and I'm also interested in UI UX and human computer interaction. And I was selected as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador in April 2021. And I like to use this opportunity to learn new skills, solve real world problems, and build communities across the globe. And if you ask me how I learned about Power BI, then I like to tell you that we were selected in World Finals of Microsoft Imagine Cup 2021 in category Earth, where our team virtual radiologist, presented our project Picosat. And Picosat is a miniature version of an environmental satellite which gives information about different environmental parameters like humidity, dust, pollution level, temperature, etc. And the huge amount of data collected from our satellite was difficult to show visually. And in this case, Power BI was really helpful. So we analyzed our data and displayed the data with the help of Power BI. So before moving on to what Power BI is, so let us look at a real case study. In 2005, when Hurricane Katrina was about to hit the coast of United States, a lot of retailers wanted to know which products have a higher probability of going out of stock so that those retailers could store more of those items in their inventory. And based on their intuition, they came up with canned foods, torchlights, batteries, drinking water, and those kinds of essential stuffs. But they wanted a data driven answer. So they looked on past data when similar kinds of event took place, and they analyzed the data, and the number one item, or the item which had higher probability of being sold out, was bottled beer. Yes, bottled beer was the item which was the most in demand. I mean, who could have thought that beer would be the number one selling item in a situation like that one? So that is how powerful data driven solution is, and it helps to see things from analytical side, and this is what Power BI is all about. So here are the topics that we will be learning today. We will be learning about business intelligence and why is it important. Then we will go through basic overview of Power BI, like what is Power BI, why should we learn Power BI, or who uses Power BI, or how difficult is Power BI. Then we will move to the demo part, where we will be importing data sets in Power BI. We will be importing from Excel and web, and then we will model our data, then finally visualize our data and publish the insights. So what is business intelligence tool? In simple words, the tools which helps to find answers to any business queries are business intelligence tool. It enables real-time analysis of data. It helps you to know your business better. And like the bottle beer example, which I recently told, business intelligence helps to improve decision making of an organization or a business. And business tool involves a set of processes and architectures that transforms raw data into meaningful information for business purposes. So what is Power BI? So Power BI is a business intelligence tool. It is one of the best BI tools in the market available today. You can properly visualize the data with reports and dashboards available in Power BI. You can clean data in Power BI, work on data modeling part. So these are the reasons why Power BI is a business intelligence tool. It is a self-service business intelligence tool, which is available in cloud as well. It has great capabilities. It lets to analyze your data, aggregate your data, and visualize your data, and finally share it with others. So, why should we learn Power BI? The number one reason is that it is one of the most popular tool available in today's market. And the second one is that it is very simple to use and easy to learn. You do not need to type any kind of function or command for most of the cases in Power BI. By just dragging and dropping or by just using the button clicks, you could accomplish many of your tasks. And the other one is that it has Power BI experts as very high demand in the market, and also the manual tasks which people are doing in company like getting data or cleaning data, creating charts, or updating the values, publishing and sharing data online can completely be automated in Power BI. And one of the most important point is that it is one of the most affordable tools in today's market. Like it is very affordable. Some tools cost you around $1,000, but Power BI can do almost everything that those tools let you do at somewhere around $100. And it has application programming interfaces to integrate with so many things. You can connect it with cloud services like Microsoft Azure. And I also used Azure and Power BI for our project in Imagine Cup. Like it gives you great capability about integration. And it also lets you customize your application to meet your goals. And it is very user friendly. Even a beginner can create useful dashboards and insights. If you start learning Power BI in the morning, then you should be good enough to understand it by evening. So that's how user friendly it is. It gives you great capability in machine learning and advanced analytics. It lets you learn. It lets you write R scripts, which is a very powerful tool in analytics. And if you are in machine learning and analytics, Power BI will make your job easier. Uh, it, it is a great visualization tool, and that forms a core part when you talk about data science, machine learning, and advanced analytics. So this chart is made by Gartner company, and Gartner is the world's leading research and advisory company that publishes short charts so that business leaders could achieve their goals smartly. The idea is similar to Trivago.com. Trivago.com also compares different hotels according to its services and price, and points out the best and cheapest hotel. Similarly, Gartner produces this kind of quadrant and compares all the products based on features, functionality, and price. And here in chart, there are several tools which is available in market like Tableau, Salesforce, Qlik, ThoughtSpot, and you can see that Microsoft is at the top spot. So it is the best BI tool in the market, and it has been a leader for more than a decade. And this gap has risen from previous year. Like this graph is from of 2021, and in 2020, the gap between the second best and the Microsoft was closer. So now Microsoft has taken a further lead. So it is constantly improving despite being a market leader. So let's talk about Power BI architecture. Now, what is Power BI architecture? How does it work? So there are many tools in Power BI, but today we will be focusing in Power BI Desktop. So Power BI Desktop is used by developers to create reports and charts. And developers are users like you and me who want to use Power BI. So you can import dataset to Power BI from an Excel, Access, CSV, PDF, web, and 99 plus sources. Bring datasets from 99 plus sources, create visuals and charts. Then when you want to publish and share your data, then use a Power BI service account. Power BI service account lets you publish and share your data online. And this entire work is automated, and you do not have to do it manually. So Power BI Desktop. The Power BI Desktop is divided into multiple parts. They are Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View or Power BI Service. A Power Query is used for cleaning data. Power Pivot is used for data modeling, and Power View is used for data visualizations like creating charts. Most of the companies they spend a lot of their time in the first two steps, that is Power Query and Power Pivot. They spend in cleaning the data and then only they go for data visualization. So how difficult is Power BI? So it is very easy. It is easier than Excel. In Excel, you have to type a function for different operations. In Power BI, you just have to drag and drop and you will get the answers. The topics are practical in Power BI. Most of the tasks can be achieved using button clicks, and even a beginner can create useful dashboards and insights. And it is much faster in processing compared to Microsoft Excel and can smoothly handle large amount of data. And Power BI is well known for its user-friendly features, which makes it comfortable and easy to learn. So, who are the people who uses Power BI? So, Power BI is for almost everyone. Power BI will let developers to integrate it with so many technologies, and there is so much to learn about it. Subject matter experts who have in-depth knowledge about subjects can use Power BI. For example, say a glaciologist. Glaciologists are the people who studies glacier, and they study about glacial deposits and glacial erosive features on landscapes. Uh, Like they study about how much has the glacier been retreated, or how much distance did the glacier move. This kind of features are monitored by glaciologists, and for this they of course have to go to high mountain areas where the glaciers are found. What they also can use IoT device and monitor their data using Power BI, and they do not have to get into too much technicalities for doing this. And for people like data scientist, analyst who needs data or who needs greater insights into data, can have all those insights quickly with Power BI, like within minutes or within seconds. Data can be meaningful to you than what it was before. So big companies using Power BI are Nestle. Nestle is a Swiss multinational food and processing conglomerate. They are one of the largest food company in the world, and their products include Nescafe, KitKat, Maggi, which is a household name here in Nepal. And I'm sure that most of you guys have heard or even consumed their products recently. The other one is Walmart. Walmart is an American multinational retail corporation that operates a chain of hypermarkets, and Walmart is the world's largest company by revenue. And in 2019 alone, they had more than $500 billion in revenue. And Toyota Motors is the world's largest vehicle manufacturer of the world, and they produce about more than 10 million vehicles per year, and is the 10th largest company in the world by revenue. And BP or British Petroleum is a British multinational oil and gas company, and they produce about 3.7 million barrels of oil per day. And if you have noticed, then these companies are from different industry. Like Nestle is from food and beverage, Walmart is a retail giant, Toyota is in manufacturing and automotive, and BP is in oil, gas, and chemical industry. And each of these companies are world leaders in their respective industry, and they all use Power BI. So, building blocks of Power BI. The terms which are presented here are not only the building blocks of Power BI. Power BI is a huge application, but these points form a core part of Power BI. The first one is visualization. It is graphical representation of our data. There are various ways of visualization. We will get into visualization once we get into the demo part. And we have data sets. Power BI lets you integrate with various data sources like Excel, Web, and Access. Then we have reports. Collection of visualization at one place is called report. and uh, and then we have dashboard. If you don't want others to make changes to your report, then publish it in the form of dashboard. Dashboard shows the visualization of your data which you have preferred to share. And then you have tiles. Individual visualization put on report or published to dashboard are called tiles. This is a single rectangular clip and holds the information. Now, having talked about all the points about Power BI, let's go further and get into the demo part. So this is how Power BI desktop application looks like. You can download the application in Microsoft Store or you can directly download it through website. To download it through Microsoft Store, go to Microsoft Store and search Power BI. Then you'll have to download Power BI desktop. And after you download the application, you will see some pop-up asking you to sign up for Power BI. Now to give you a quick rundown of the interface, this above area, it's called a ribbon, where you'll see commonly used tasks like icons, and it is kind of similar to other Microsoft applications like Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word. So it somehow looks familiar to us, which obviously makes it comfortable to use in the first place. And then this big area, it's called a canvas. You can add all your visualizations here and create a report to later share and publish your data. And then we have our visualizations, which has all these visualization tools like the pie charts, bar charts, stack charts, maps. We'll be looking different types of visualizations in upcoming slides. And this is called a field span, where you'll be able to find query elements to make your visualizations. And down here, you will see page tab. You can add pages for your visualizations and reports. And this is kind of similar to how you add your pages in Excel file. And then uh, using this tab, you'll be able to see your loaded data. And this tab gives the relationships between the tables. Okay, now let us start by importing our data set. For this, let's go to get data. You can see the amount of data sets you can import in Power BI. Like there are more than 99 plus sources from which you can import in Power BI. For now, we'll be using Excel dataset, which is in the first row. So these are the tables which are present in my Excel dataset. And by clicking on it, you can see the preview and it displays the first 15 rows of the table. And to import the table, you have to click on these check marks. And then you see options to whether load or transform or cancel. So now, so let's transform the data first to make sure that the data is clean. We have to avoid data inconsistency and make sure that there is no null values. So after you have verified your data, you can click on close and apply. Let's wait for a few seconds. Here our data has been loaded. So these are the charts that we will be visualizing today. The first one is the column chart. Then the tile appears. When I create this column chart, the options here have changed. Like there are axis, legend, values, and tooltips. Uh, Now let's, and you have to drag and drop the values from the right hand side to left hand side in these fields in order to make a chart. So let's add subcategory in the axis and sales in the values. So when I drag and drop, a simple column chart is created, and by default all the subcategories or the x-axis are sorted based on the descending order, like the rightmost has the least value and the leftmost has the maximum value. Now to customize the charts, like changing its color or font size or x-axis, you need to click on format, that is this icon, and here are different options of formatting your chart. Now let's say I want to change the x-axis, then click on x-axis, then you can change its text size. Here you can see that the size of x-axis has been increased. So I think 11 is good. I think this looks good. Now to change its data color, click on, you can choose any of these colors. You can also change its title. Let's put this capital. Let's also change the background color to red color. And let's change the font color to white. Let's also align it in the middle and increase the text size. So I think this looks good. So now let us see how to create a stacked column chart. So let me rename this to uh, column chart and this to stack column. So now I'll click on the same second chart. So here are the same axis, legend, values, and tooltips. So now let me quickly make a column chart first by adding segment here. And for the values, let me add quantity. Here the legend box is empty right now. So let's say I drop a return reason on it. Now here I'm getting 4 different colors. So what are these colors? If I click on wrong item, then the reason of the wrong item is being highlighted. If I click on wrong color, then its reason is being highlighted. And the same goes to not needed and not given. So in this chart, we are first comparing the segment based on quantity, and in those comparison I'm seeing the distribution of the segment based on return reason. So if you hover your chart, then you can see what are the different values, and this chart clearly shows that the quantity of goods sold for consumer is higher than that of corporate and home office, and also the amount of goods returned in consumer section is the highest. So let's change the orientation of the chart to a vertical one, and let's also add data labels in it. So by ticking these marks, you can see the number inside the charts itself. Now for clustered column chart, uh, let us make the chart with the same parameter. So let us add segment in axis and return reason in legend, and let's add quantity for values. So here we can see the difference between a stacked column chart and clustered column chart. In stacked column chart, you get to see legends in a single bar, while in clustered column chart, you can see different bars of different legend. Like in consumer segment, you get to see 5 different bars. And depending on what you want to show or how you can visualize the data better, you can choose any of these charts. So the next chart is the line chart. So basically, line charts are those kind of charts which shows the growth. Okay, now let's add order ID. Sorry. Basically, the axis usually takes date, and here I want to show the growth of the company monthly. So let me cross the year, quarter, and day. And for values, let me add sales. So this chart shows the growth of the company. The total sales in January was somewhere around 300,000, and gradually we get to see all-time high of 815,000 in November, and we have a dip year in December. And here the legend field is empty. So let me drop category in it. Then you can see sales based on the category, like technology has the highest sales and followed by furniture and office supplies. Now for the area chart. So for the area chart also, let me add the same parameters. That is order date in the axis and category in the legend and sales in the value. So as you can see that these chart looks similar, but the area chart, it gives you an idea of the area shaded under it, or it gives you the idea of the volume. So for the next chart, we have our very common chart, and that is our pie chart. So it's a pie chart. It is a big circle cut into pieces. Do not chart is the same thing, but it is hollowed out. So it's a visual preference mainly, but there is a key difference between both of them. So now let's start with pie chart. Let's add state to its legend, and for values, let's add profit, and let's do the same thing for do not chart as well. Let's add state to its legend and profit for its value. So now let's look at the pie chart first and notice how you look at it. The chances are that you look at the center, at least at the first sight. And here is the do not chart. Because do not chart are hollowed out, there is no central point to attract your attention. Your eyes travel around the circumference of the do not chart. So, so we use do not chart for its readability, because you will judge each pieces of the do not chart according to its length. And for percentage breakdowns, you will basically choose, or you will mostly choose the pie chart. And we have other chart called tree map. So it's basically it serves the same purpose, basically the same purpose as the pie chart and the do not chart, but it shows according to the hierarchy. And let's also add the same parameters to, let's add group and profit to its values. So this is the tree map, and I think you might have seen it in Wikipedia. Like, it is a very famous chart in Wikipedia. So now let's move to our next chart, and that is our funnel chart. So funnel charts are those kinds of chart which gives you the idea of the state of progress. So let's add top category to its group, and for the values, let's add profit. So this chart shows the percentage of profits of each subcategory compared to other subcategory. For example, the copiers is 100%, then envelopes is 15.23% of the first, that is copiers. And when you hover around it, you can see all the values. Like for the accessories, it is just 26.47% of the copiers, and it is 89.03% from the previous, that is storage. Now for the maps in Power BI. So there are two kinds of map in Power BI, but today we will be focusing in a regular map. So let's add US states to its location. And for the size, let's add quantity. So we have plotted the quantities of goods sold according to different US states. The goods sold in Texas is higher as the size of circle in Texas is bigger. So we can change the size of circle by going to format, and using these bubbles we can change the size. Let's make it a little bigger. I think this looks good. So let's also change the color. Let's give it a gradient. Let's make lowest value the lightest color and highest value the brightest color. So your Texas has the biggest circle, followed by Illinois and Michigan, which means that the quantity of goods sold in Texas is higher compared to others. So we have completed our data visualization part. Now let us save this, and let us give it a name and say intro. So after completing your part in Power BI desktop by modeling and visualizing your data and creating reports, which we had just done, you will publish your data to Power BI service. And using Power BI service, you can share your reports and dashboard with other users. Now to publish the data, click on publish, and then you can see the workspaces to add your report. And to create your own workspace, go to your Power BI service account. So this is how Power BI service account interface looks like. And to create your new workspace, go to workspace. So these are the workspaces which I had previously created. To create a new workspace, click on create a workspace. Then give it a name. You can basically give anything. And let's give it a description. So, and then save. So our workspace has been created. Now let us publish the data. So click on publish. So these are the workspaces which I had created before. And this is the workspaces which we have created recently. So let us publish in this workspace, Power BI intro. Now the data is being, now let's wait for a few seconds. The data has been publishing. Okay, the data is published. Now let's get back to our Power BI service account, and let's refresh this. So here we can see our reports in the Power BI workspace which we have just created. So these are all the charts which we had created just before. Like we have all the funnel charts. We have our pie charts, tree chart. We have our line charts and area charts. So basically we have everything. And if you don't want others to make changes to your report, then you can publish it in the form of dashboard. And to create a dashboard, you have to click on the pin icon. Now we get to see pop-up asking you to choose a dashboard. And since I don't have any dashboard, let me create a new dashboard. And let's give it a name. Let's give it a power dashboard and pin. So let's pin all the visualizations which we have created. Since I already have a existing dashboard which I just created, let us pin in the existing dashboard. Let us pin this one also. So when you have pinned your all your necessary charts, then you can go back to your workspace. And here is the dashboard. Here is the dashboard which I just created. So these are the visualization which I had pinned, and you can customize this dashboard. You can drag and drop it. You can also increase the size. And if you want to share it with others, then click on share. And then you can add your friend's email to which you want to share. And to create a Power BI app, you have to click on this icon, and then you can give any name. I think Power BI intro is good. Let's give it a description, and then publish app. So our app has been published. So let's go to our app. So this is our app. So Power BI helps you make this kind of amazing application, and there is a lot of things you can do, and you can actually play around. Like you can make it interactive, and it really helps to share your report. It also helps to improve your decision, and it helps to see things from analytical side. And so that was all from my end. Now Ashish will be taking over and explaining how to connect Power BI with Azure and its services. And if you have any queries, then please drop it in the comment. I'll be replying to your comments from now on. So okay, Ashish can take over.
Yeah, okay, let's wait for some time. Let us see if there is any questions.
Okay.
So far, no questions. Let me present. So is it visible?
Yes, it is.
So let me start. So hello and namaste everyone. Hope you all are doing well. So going to the introduction. So I am a fourth year computer engineering student at Kathmandu University and also IIT community coordinator here. So you all have known about our team. So we were representing Nepal to Imagine Cup 2021. So let's get started. So hope you are enjoying our session. So we are already in time. So I will be telling about IoT and so what is IoT, how it works and many more. And then we will learn about IoT Hub in Azure and its features. So if you are developing any IoT projects, so how to make it fully online or how to make your IoT projects more easier and more simpler. And then we'll also be looking for stream analytics, from where we'll be connecting these services. And we have already learned about Power BI so much that I will not be talking more about it, as Sabil has already explained pretty much everything about it. So without any delay, let's move to IIT. So what is IIT? So we may have any idea, we might know anything about it. We have heard somewhere about IIT, right? So basically IIT refers to the Internet of Things, or IIT refers to the billions of physical devices around the world that are connected to the internet, and all collecting and sharing data. Pretty much any physical object that can be transformed into an IIT with the help of internet. So if you have any projects at your home, simply we can take an example of a light bulb. So if you have a light bulb that can be accessed through your mobile phone or smart devices, and maybe through the use of Bluetooth, right? So you might be consider it as an IoT devices, but to the basic requirement for an device or project to be an under IoT is that it must be connected to the internet. So, and we can also take the example of motion sensor or lights in your office or street lights, and if they are not connected to the internet, just we may have seen many street lights that turn on automatically at night, right? And if they are not connected to the internet, then they cannot be considered. But if they are connected to the internet and you can control it from anywhere around the world, then it is surely a IoT device. So an IoT device could be as floppy as a child's toy and as serious as a travel straw. So in this image also you can see a toy, so which can respond to her voice and make an interaction, and it is connected to the internet where parents can make customization. So what is a need of their child or what they want their child to learn. So basically it can be as simple as a child's toy and can be as complex as a autonomous driving car. So that's so now moving towards the Azure IoT Hub. So let's talk about Azure IoT Hub. Pretty much, I think most of you haven't heard about this. This is a cloud service, and it is a cloud service fully managed by Microsoft to connect, monitor, and manage billions of IoT assets. So if you are working on a IoT project or IoT device, if you are making a project, then you can surely visit this service, right? So it is, so I will be talking more about this service. Talking about the features of the IoT Hub, it can connect billions of devices, and this is the feature that I like the most. So regardless of your devices, so if you are working on a project and if you are trying to connect millions of devices, so if you are working on disaster management or any such type of project, so this can be a very cheap solution for you, not in context of your project but for your service to maintain, because we send message pretty much very less time, right? So once in a day or pretty much similar types of messages. But if you are charged based on your devices, then you have to pay a lot of money for your project. So if you are using Azure IoT Hub, it doesn't depends on how many devices you are connecting. So it only depends on how many messages you are sending per day. And another feature is that it supports any type of operating system. Pretty much we have been hearing of real-time operating system. So if you are working on such type of project which contains real-time operating system, so it might be pretty hard for any other services to embed with the real-time operating system, right? So if you are working on this type of software, So IoT Hub also support this type of services. So, and we also know that real-time operating system. So another unique feature is that it supports bidirectional communication, so which is very important for an IoT project. And we all know that this works on real time, right? So you can visualize your data, you can monitor your parameter, you can send command in a very short interval of time. And this much for Azure IoT Hub. So if you are working on an IoT project, so if you are working on IoT project, so basically on an Azure or using a cloud service, you must be hearing of another term, Azure Event Hub. So we do have similar services provided by Azure named IoT Event Hub, which are quite similar, but IoT is far better than Event Hub. So why is that? So both works with IoT devices. So what is the main difference, you might be thinking? So both are working with IoT devices, and which to choose? Which one are you willing to choose? So let's move. What is the biggest difference between them? So right, so IoT Hub supports bidirectional communication, which is not supported by Event Hub. So in IoT Hub, you can send command from cloud to device and from device to cloud. There is bidirectional communication. But in Azure Event Hub, you can only send message from device to cloud, which limits your performance. So which can just degrade your project if you can't control your project from the cloud, right? So this might not be necessary in every case, but when you need it, so you can use the Azure IoT Hub instead of Azure Event Hub. So another big difference is in the transmission protocol. So here IoT Hub supports MQTT protocol, which is not supported by Azure Event Hub. So MQTT is a lightweight message transmission protocol that makes communication faster between the device and the cloud. So MQTT protocol makes your communication system faster. So it sends the message in small packets, so which makes the performance of your project really fast. And there are other differences also that are not major, but you need to consider these two parameters while developing your project. So now let's move to our Azure Stream Analytics. So Azure Stream Analytics is a fully managed real-time analysis platform which has built-in first-class integration with Azure IoT Hub and Azure Event Hub. So you can connect your Azure IoT Hub and Azure Event Hub through Azure Stream Analytics. So without this, your IoT project will never going to be completed. So this service is used for real-time analysis, which handles a data range from 1 Mbps and can goes up to 1 Gbps. And we can consider it as an heart of a IoT project because it combined your service with the internet, and you can pretty much control everything and from every part of the world. And the next feature is mission critical reliability and scale. So from its name, it is clear, right? So this supports automatic recovery and allows you to monitor the data and helps to create alert if anomalies occur. So talking about a project like a disaster management system, where you want to create a alert without any delay of seconds, right? So if you are working on such critical projects, then this will help you to transfer your information or process your information without any delay. So we can save various catastrophe, right? And this can be scaled on demand also. So if you need more service, then as the time pass by, you can add more services, right? So it doesn't stop you from building your project. Then another features is that it supports rapid development. As most of the work is already done and we just need to open the portal and just start working. and we need to write a simple query in Azure Stream Analysis to connect your devices from Azure IoT Hub to storage service or to Power BI visualization. So we need to write a query which is in TSQL query, which is can be simply considered as an advanced version of SQL query. So if you know SQL language, then it will be simpler for you to work on these services. So in Stream Analytics. So now here comes the integration part, where we will be connecting all our services. So if you are using Azure Event Hub, then you can simply connect it with Azure Stream Analytics, or Azure IoT Hub, you can connect it and through the Azure portal. And then if you are working on some data for validation, and if the data is stored in your blob storage, you can connect it from here, right? So this is the system architecture, and this is the system architecture. So let me point out. So this can be considered as your IoT devices. So if you are working on your project, then this is the place where you will be using your IoT devices, hardware or mobile devices or anything, and you will be connecting it using either Event Hub or IoT Hub. And then so why I have called the Azure Stream Analytics as a heart is that it controls pretty much everything. And then if you have some model that you have trained in machine learning, that you have developed in a Python language or any other languages, you can embed it using the functions in Azure Stream Analysis, and then you can store it for long-term storage like Data Lake, Cosmos DB, SQL DB, and many more, so that the data won't be lost and you can use in the future, right? And so why I'm talking about the IoT, so is that today we are having a workshop on Power BI, so we can view our data in a real-time dashboard, so or time series insight. So let's move towards the demo. So yes, we are already running out of time, so it's already 54. So we don't have many much time to create all the resources. So I'll be only showing how it looks, right? So first of all, I have created a false setup. So to create a general visualization of how to work, so I have sent some data using the making as a simulation of an IoT project. So after you have created your IoT project using Node MCU, Arduino, or any other service, or Raspberry Pi or anything, you need to connect it to the Azure portal. So first of all, you need to create a resources. So going to the Internet of Things, and you will be creating a Azure IoT Hub. So from here, make sure the region you select is same for every of the resources you are creating in a particular project. So if you are creating Azure IoT Hub in Central US, then you must create Azure Stream Analytics also in Central US. So it will be easier for you to connect between these services. So creating this will take a bit of longer time. So I have already created one. So after creating a service, the service will look like this, where you need to add your devices from here, Azure IoT devices. So wait a second, it is loading. So after coming to here, you can add your new devices, or you can view your devices. So here is already our device. So after clicking on device, you will see different connection strings, right? So here is a primary connection string, here is a primary key to connect the resources. So this keys helps you to connect your device from the IoT portion or hardware portion. You will need to keep this code or embed this code in the hardware, and then you will be just get connected with the devices. So after coming to Azure, after you have created a Azure IoT Hub, so you can see in the number of IoT devices. Currently, I have added a device, and you can. This is a free tier, so this is limited to 8,000 messages per day, and I have already used the. Uh, I have already used 5,600 something messages, and here you can see how at what time your service is being activated and at what time your service is being disconnected, and simply you can visualize your service through here. And then after you have successfully created your Azure IoT Hub, you need to create a stream analytics. So I have already created a one. So in stream analytics you need to add input. So from currently we have input from the Azure IoT Hub. So I have named it as stream input, and then you need to add outputs. So currently we are visualizing it in a Power BI, right? So in Power BI we need to add a resource called Power BI. So in output, so we cannot edit it if our service is already running. So if you want to make changes, so simply stop the service and make a change. So stream output is the name of the output of Power BI service. We are sending our data from Azure Event Hub to Azure Power BI, right? So in the query session, so you will be seeing um, you will be writing a query. So I have already told you about this. So you will be writing in TSQL. So here I have sent data from stream input to the stream output. So this is the portion of the Azure IoT Hub. Now we will be moving towards the Power BI. So Sabil have already told many functions about it. So I have already created a workstation. So the weather station here, where we have already received our dashboard data set, and this is the dashboard which I have created, where you can see the live data. Let me check it. So and you can simply get the mobile version. Simply you have to log in with the access code, and then you will be redirect to the dashboard. Simply Sabil have shared the app ID, so simply you can download the Power BI app from the Play Store and simply log in with your ID. You have received a share information. Simply if you have received a mail by a friend or any other person, so simply you need to log in with the same mail to get access to the Power BI app. So this is how the mobile version look like. So this is the real-time analysis of a weather station. So that's all from my side. Thank you. Sabil, you can take over.
So let's wait for some queries. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
So thank you everyone for attending this session. Thank you Sombhavdai, and thank you Ashish, and thank you Promise. And I hope you guys have learned about Power BI, and you will be using it in future. And if there is anything you like to ask, then you can reach me out. Uh, and have a great night. Thank you. And Somabdai, would you like to say anything about the MLSA program? I think this is offline. So thank you guys. So thank you guys for attending. I hope you have a great night.
So Sabil, you can stop the recording.
Sure.
So if you have any queries, so do reach us, and we'll also having another session, so where we'll be creating each and every resources. So this is only a 1 hour workshop, so we cannot create every resource for the IoT. So Aun, what do you want to say? Is Aun here?
Yes, I'm here. Right now I have not much to say, but just stay tuned. We are having events like initially just 2 weeks ago we had one on cloud, and now we are having on Azure and connecting it to Power BI. So very soon we'll be having other events as well. So stay tuned to the Facebook page, to the social medias of MLSA Nepal, Microsoft Learning Student Master Nepal. If you haven't liked it yet, please go on to Facebook and check out our Facebook page and like it. And if you are interested in similar videos, then they are available in our YouTube channel as well. You can search by the name Microsoft Learning Ambassador Nepal in YouTube, and you can get the contents there. So thank you very much for being here, and it was a great session, Sabil and Ashish, and thank you so much for helping. So yeah, this much. Thank you everyone.
So okay, let's leave now. If
Awesome.
you guys have anything, you can share it.
Okay, I'll just close the stream. Thank you so much.